Hey guys, Charles from Toughcut Australia here. Just going to show you how to reset your digital cross cut stops on the Toughcut Diamond 450A. So these are the little TSUN MA06LS controllers, digital displays. So the way we do it is these stops have a preset function. So in the controller you set a specific size. When you hit the buttons it'll zero it off, and then you can, and when I say zero off, it'll set it to that size, and then you know you've set them correctly. So for instance, this one here is set for 300. If we push P and C at the same time, you can see it changes to a default of 300 millimeters, and this one here is 500. So obviously you can see we are not at that size. So what we do is we bring it to approximately 300 mil, lock that off. You then need to do a physical cut. Make sure you cut both ends, and then use a tape measure and measure exactly what it is, and basically disregard what this says, disregard what this says, just adjust the stop so then you get it to exactly that 300 mil. Once you repeat the cutting process. Once you cut it and you measure it and it's 300 exactly, and we know the stop is at 300, we then hit these two buttons here, and that will zero it off to 300 millimeters. Then if you want to adjust this manual tape, you can see it's reading a bit out. You can loosen off this thumb screw under here. So you got one for this front tape, and the one at the back is for that tape there. And there's also another one on this side here, the exact same thing, one for the front, one for the back. Loosen that, and then you can slide this tape forwards and backwards depending on where you want to go, like what the size is, the reading that you've got. So you can adjust that over and then lock it up. Now with the second crosscut stop, that one is generally set for approximately 500 mil. It may be different on your machine, but you can change that, or you can just write down what it is there. So you might write, if it's 680 or 500 or whatever on there. So same thing, move the stop to approximately 500 mil. We again do our test cut it, measure it, make sure, don't worry about what they say, make sure that the piece is actually the size that we measured. When you're happy that it is 500, you just hit the two buttons here, and then it will set it to that default of 500. If you did, for whatever reason, want to change that 500 or 300 size, you can hold down the P button. If you hold it down, we'll go into the parameters. So P001 is the parameter we want to change. So if we push that P again, you'll see it brings up here, and we've got 500. So remember, you got your decimal point here. So you can scroll across and you can change that to whatever you like. So if you wanted to make it 600 or something like that, you could change it to 600. Hit the P button, that will save the parameter. And then when we move it over and push that, it's set to 600. If we want to change it back to 5, hold that down, enter the parameter, scroll across, 5, enter, and now that's saved it in. And that's how you set your stops on the machine. There is AA batteries in here that do need to be replaced. So if the battery goes flat, you can pull it out. You undo this small screw here, slide that off, and 2 AA batteries go in there. You can put them back in, and then they'll keep going and last again. So they will last a fair few months. They will stay on, they don't automatically turn off, they do stay on these units all the time. Great. If you do have any other issues where it's not reading correctly, you find that after sliding it backwards and forwards a few times or over a period of time, the size is changing a little bit, that could be because the sensor, this is your magnetic tape, the sensor on the back here, the reader, may be too far away from this tape here. So generally we put about a piece of paper under there. We've got 2 Allen keys that are slotted. You can loosen them off, slide that up till it's touching, so it's squishing the piece of paper in between 1 or 2 pieces, or you can just set it about 1 mil, and then tighten those 2 screws, and you adjust that. If that gap is too big, it could cause, as you move it over the full length, to lose position and be a few mil out. So if you do find that happening, check this guy here. He is up nice and close against the magnetic reader tape there. Obviously, if it's too tight, it can rub and then it can damage the sensor and the tape. So make sure that when you move it the whole way along, it's not touching anywhere and binding up on that tape and damaging it. Great, that's just a quick little video there. And if you've got any questions, leave a message in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.